Hello. Nice to be here and nice that you are here. The program changed a little bit, but I think we are all agile software developers, so this should not be a problem. My topic today is how continuous cooperative innovation can pay off. I will do a journey with you together through our ecosystem, and we will see how the project was started and how we organize our daily work today to get the things done and to make the innovation happen. And finally, in the last part, I will outline some ideas where we can go in the next year or in the next 5 years, and where we see the future of search in TYPO3. So I'm Timo Hund, I'm 33 years old. I'm working with TYPO3 since 2003. I'm working with Apache Solr since 2009, and I'm working now at DKD about 1 year. And I'm here for you, so after the talk, just ask me and just talk to me. I will be happy to answer any questions and to talk to you. But beside me, there's a whole team working on Solr. And beside me, there's Ingo Renner. He has initially started this project, and he's still working on it from San Francisco. And Markus Friedrich, he's focusing on the file-related stuff, so on the file search. And beside that, there's Olivier Dobakau and Thomas Janke. You might know them. They are focusing on the management stuff, and that we can work and concentrate on the development things. And as I told you, I'm working at I'm working at DKD. It's a web agency in Frankfurt. We have 95 employees, and the agency was founded in 1998. And we are TYPO3 Platinum members. And yeah, we are still looking for people to join. So if you think that's a cool company, then just contact us. Make innovation happen. That's the claim of the conference, as you heard. And we thought about, how do we make innovation happen, and what can we say about this claim? So we thought, we can say something about it. Let's take it and let's fork it, because it's not exactly how it fits to our thinking, but we can add a lot of thoughts to it. So the agenda for today will be make. There I will talk about our ecosystem, how we build an ecosystem around the Solr extension, and how we survive or how we live in the TYPO3 ecosystem. And the second part is happen, our daily mission. There I will talk about what we do to keep the Solr project successful and how we want to implement new things. And in the last part, I will outline some ideas that we have for the next year and also for later, for the next 5 years, and our vision about search in TYPO3. So, the first thing, building an ecosystem. We started around 2008, and there was a need in TYPO3 for a better search. So there was a search existing, but we needed a search which has some features like replacing synonyms. So we wanted to find documents on the website that not naturally contain a term. An example, as you see on the slides, is stewardess and Flugbegleiter. When somebody is searching for stewardess, he expects to find things, documents that contain Flugbegleiter. And we needed a system to manage this, and we found out that Apache Solr is pretty good in this. And we decided to build an extension based on Apache Solr. And we found, we were looking for other people who wanted to contribute into this idea. And together with these partners, we started to build the extension. And beside that, other features in Solr, you might know them like faceting. The user can easily click on the filters and narrow down the results to what he's really looking for. And it turned out that it was quite a successful project. So we had a good feedback and it was quite often used. And we shared it with the TYPO3 community, so we got a lot of feedback from outside, like patches, and yeah, and it was a great success to open source it. And the next step, or starting with that, was to join the forces. So most likely we have a project. In a project, we have customers that need a website, and on the website they need a search. So they are looking for an agency that implements this website, which is a partner of us. And we, as a DKD Solr team, we provide the Solr extension to the partners, and the partners get access to additional components. And with these components, they can build a more powerful search for the customer. And also, we, as DKD Solr team, coordinate the work with the community. So we give support on the Slack channel and get feedback and patches out from the community, and we collect this feedback and continuously improve the extension. And with this approach, it's possible for us to really bundle the development power and to make it possible that more people can work on one extension. So an advantage is that we have one search solution instead of many. So this does not mean that there are no other good extensions for search, but for us it's good because we can invest more or can spend more time in the development of this extension. And when you know the context of search projects, it's quite a complex field. Even when you want to build a good search for a website, it starts quickly to get complicated. So it makes sense in this case to join the forces and to do it together. So. And since then, we had about 300 partners that have invested into our project, quite a success, and in the last year about 35. We worked on the extension 7 years, and we've spent around 9 person-years of development. And if you, as an agency, would develop something like this on your own, it would cost you something like €500,000. So there's quite a huge value in this extension, and you can use it, and it's complicated when you want to start it from scratch. In this time we had about 28 releases and 25,000 downloads, so quite a huge spread, so quite commonly used. And nowadays we have a powerful set of components, so beside the search extension as a core extension, we have a search for the file layer, so when you want to search for files, or we have the support of the Fluid template engine and Apache Nudge support, things like that. So a huge system around it was grown. So today we have a powerful set of components. So when we come back to the claim, we would add to the make. When we want to make it happen, everybody can invest something, time, money, or know-how, or motivation. So even everybody has the possibility to make innovation happen, or make happen innovation. And with joint forces, we can achieve more. So it's simpler when we do the things together instead of working on the things alone. So joining the forces really helps to make it happen. Okay, coming back to the agenda and to the next point, our daily mission. So our goal is, or our challenge is, to bring the things on the road. So because only what we've delivered to the customer really brings value. And in this part, I want to talk about how we do this. And before we can think about how we do this, we need to think about what do we want to do, so what is important. And to define this, we thought about when are we successful. So the first thing is we are successful when our partners and we are happy. So when we do successful projects and our partners are happy, that's good. The next thing is when we are on time. So as Matthias already said, we should be reliable, and that's the same for us. So when we promise something to our customers and to the community, we really stick to this promise and really want to do the things in time. So being in time is important for us. And at the same time, being in budget. So everybody needs to earn money in the end with this project, and therefore it's important that we don't spend too much time in the things. So this is important too. And when somebody recommends us and says they are doing nice things and they are doing cool things, that's good. So when we win new partners, we also know we are successful. And also when we make TYPO3 more attractive. So when somebody chooses the TYPO3 system because he knows that there's a good search available, then we did a good job. So this is also a factor for success for us. And when we continuously innovate search in TYPO3. So when we bring new things into TYPO3, that's good. And thinking about these success factors, we need to think how can we achieve this. So the first thing is we want to communicate. We want to communicate to the community, we want to communicate to our partners, and we want to understand what they need. And with this information, we want to build a priority. So for us, in the last year, this means we started with a customer survey, and we asked our customers, hey, what do you need? What is important for you? And based on this survey, we did a prioritization to do the things that are important for our customers first. So next topic, or next thing what we can do is we need to prioritize, and we need to focus on the things. So only when we bring the things to an order, from the very important things to the least important things, we can achieve the most important things first. So this means also from time to time that we need to say, no, this is not possible. But for the most important things, it means we can really finish them and we can really deliver them with the next, or with the release afterwards. And we want to release early and often. So only when you can use it on your website, it really brings a value to the customer. So when it's just in the master branch and you can install it on your dev system, that's nice, that's good, but only on the website it brings a value to the customer. So we try to release the software early and often. And we want to avoid waste. So whenever we do things again and again, this is makes no fun, and it's it's annoying. So we try to automate things. So we started to use the TYPO3 homestead box and adapted it to our needs. We added the Solr search, and every developer is able to start just within 20 minutes, and before he just needed a few hours to set up the system, so we wanted to automate this stuff. And also testing, we started to automate a lot of the tests, so whenever something is pushed to the master branch, or when you create a pull request, the whole test suite is running, and we know that most of the parts of the system are working as before. And last but not least, we need to find a trade-off between perfection and chaos. So there are two sides of the horse. When we do the things too perfect, we might never finish them. And when we do the things too chaotically, nobody will understand the system in the end anymore. And we will end up in chaos. So we need to find a trade-off between these two directions. So when we thought about these success factors, and when we collected opinions from our customers, we ended up with a roadmap. And we tried to do a release at the end of every quarter. And every release had a focus, and this was shipped at the end of the quarter. So in the first quarter, we worked on this 7.6 LTS support with Solr 4.0. And in the next quarter, we had Solr 5, and we shipped the first version of Solr Fluid as an add-on, so our partners can use it in the live projects. And then in the third quarter, we had a really productive code sprint, and where we also had really nice things from the TYPO3 community. So we shipped the changes from the code sprint, and at the end of the year, we plan to support Apache Solr 6, and we also shipped some Docker template files so that you can use the latest Solr version with our extension just by installing it. And also the setup process of the server should be easier. So when we come back to our survey, we see from top to down, it's ordered by the importance, that most of the things that we asked and that we promised, we really finished, and we really were able to ship to our customers. So some things will be finished at the end of the year, but this is looking very good. And most of the things are already finished. So we could deliver the things that we've promised at the beginning of the year. So, and I also want to show you an example. It's a project from Web Vision. It's called Duvidac Systems, and they are working with us together as a partner. And they created this project. They created this project based on Solr and Solr Fluid. And what is really interesting about this project is they are using TYPO3 as a content repository, and they are using Solr as an engine to deliver list sites and category sites. So it's the advantage of this is that you need less custom plugins, and you can reuse the components when you build multiple instances. So they are using or they are writing news and projects and other things as TYPO3 pages, as special page types, and these page types get indexed into Apache Solr, and the TYPO3 front end renders these pages with Solr Fluid as list views. And the advantage is of this, for building a new category view with filters, there's no programming needed. So you can just add new filters and types with configurations and no custom programming. And also you have less maintenance because you don't need so many custom extensions. And they are using atomic design and Fluid in this project. So the components that you have in every search instance, like the search field or drop-downs for search boxes, they can be reused in multiple parts of the website. So this is a really interesting approach to reuse these components on the whole website. And also because of Solr and because of Solr Fluid, it's a really fast response. So it's a really fast website. And yeah, nice to use. I want to show you some impressions from this project. This is a news site, and the filters below the site, you can drop them down, filter by year, and also shrink them down with a custom query. And when you click on Weiterlesen, you get to the news site. So this is pretty simple to use, and when you want to add new filters to this site, it's pretty easy. And also the same for projects. They are using the Solr search for projects as well. When you click on the website on the Projekte link, you see a Solr view, and the tiles below are teasers for projects. So you can filter them down by clicking these filters. and narrow down to the project where you are looking for. So when you have further questions, you can also ask Boris Hinzer from WebVision, he's here, about this project. And I want to come back to the claim and to make it happen. So what do we think is needed to make happen innovation? We need responsibility takers and we need the goal to deliver. So we need somebody who says, yeah, I'm working on this and I want to deliver something. Because when we don't finish it or when it's not usable in the end, it will not happen. It will not bring a value. And also, innovation can be small or big. So we often think about the big things. That's good. That's needed. We need this. We need new ideas and visions. But there are also small things which can also bring innovation. So this is also important. So it can be small or big. So coming to the last part, our vision. In this part, I want to outline a few ideas that we have. Our roadmap for the next year is not finished. We are currently thinking about it. We want to ask our customers again. We want to get feedback from the community to really bring up a roadmap for the next year. But I want to outline a few ideas. And the complexity of these ideas are measured with t-shirt sizes. So there are some pretty small ideas and bigger ideas, which might be ideas for 2 years or 3 years. So the first thing is Solar Fluid 2.0. We did a huge step this year. It's really cool to use it and to see projects that are using this. But we want to go further and we want to go ahead. We want to replace the old templating engine with Fluid completely in the core, so that you only use Solar Fluid. And also there are features that make a search more usable, like grouping and geo search and a better suggest, that support more use cases. So when you want to build a store finder or something like this, it should be possible that there is more possible to create out of the box. Next thing is we want to build a TYPO3, or an idea of us is to build a TYPO3 search API that is part of the core and that we can use for the back end and for the front end. And that we, in the backend, for example, we have a faster search, and you can just instantiate this API in your extension and get search content directly from this core API. And also, it could be possible to have different storage backends like Elastic or CMIS to store these search contents. And the last thing is we want to optimize the search quality. So the first step in the evolution was to build a faster search. The database searches were very slow, and Solar is doing a good job there. And taking the document context into account helps to optimize the search results. So with suggestions and spelling corrections, it's easier for the user to find what he's looking for. But when we want to get further, we need to think about how we can reach the next step, because companies like Google and Facebook, they are forming the search expectations of the users. So because every user who's coming to your website is, he's thinking, why is this not working like Google? So they are forming these expectations, and when we want to get closer, we need to think about how we can take the user context into account. So this is one of our long-term goals. So coming back to our claim, make happen innovation, we need the freedom to dream. So we need to think about the impossible things when we want to make innovations. So there are things that are pretty close, like Solar Fluid 2.0, but there are also things that are pretty far, and we need to do the next step. So we need the freedom to dream. And we need an open culture, so we need to have the possibility to discuss these ideas and to talk about them in a Slack channel and have a respectful mindset or a respectful discussion to think about the next steps that we can take. And finally, I want to think about how we can make it happen. So what can you do or what can we do to make it happen? So one thing is you can join our EB program, you can sign up, you get some benefits, and you can really support our idea and give some money, and we can use this to implement the next features. Or you can share and discuss your ideas on Slack or by mail. Just send me an email or write it to the Slack channel, hey, I have this idea. And you can support the development with money, code, and motivation. You can go to some developer here or to somebody else and say, hey, I like what you are doing, so you can motivate the people and support them with their project. And you can invite your developers to a code sprint. You can invite them to join a core code sprint, as Matthias told this morning. We are also doing a code sprint each year, so you can invite your developers to attend our code sprint. This helps us to bring in new ideas and features. And you can give your developers the time to contribute to our project. I think the project from Boris Hinzer is a pretty good example. Daniel, who was working on this project, he contributed a lot to our extension because they needed it for this project, and he got the time to do this. So it helps everybody to bring in things. So for example, the filter, the plugin setup and the filtering stuff that you see in Solar Fluid, this is contributed by Daniel Siebmann, because he did it for this project. So this is a nice possibility to get involved. Yeah, thank you.
Well, are there any questions for Timo?